Samsung fans have been eagerly waiting for the Galaxy S25 FE, the next addition to the company's 2025 flagship lineup. While there's still a lot of mystery surrounding its full specifications, one thing has been making headlines again and again: the chipset. Initially, it looked like Samsung had made up its mind about going with the Exynos 2400E for the S25 FE, just like they did with the S24 FE. But now, a new twist in the story has sparked fresh confusion. MediaTek is back in the picture. More than 7 months ago, some reports suggested that the Galaxy S25 FE might feature a MediaTek Dimensity chipset. Those rumors slowly faded as more recent information pointed back to the Exynos 2400E. But now, according to a new report from Notebook Check, citing what they claim is one of their most reliable sources, Samsung hasn't completely ruled out the MediaTek Dimensity 9400. In fact, it might be seriously considering using it, not as the primary choice, but as a strong backup. So what's the reason behind this uncertainty? Why would Samsung, a company that already used the Exynos 2400E and the Galaxy S24 FE, feel the need to consider switching to a different chip? Well, it all comes down to one thing: production capacity. The Exynos 2400E is a decent performer. It did its job well in the S24 FE and seemed like a logical choice for the S25 FE. But manufacturing chipsets isn't just about design, it's also about supply. The chipset is produced by Samsung's own foundry, and this is where the problem lies. If Samsung Foundry can't produce enough Exynos 2400E chips in time for the Galaxy S25 FE's launch, then Samsung will have no choice but to look elsewhere. And that's where MediaTek steps in. Samsung is also reportedly planning to use the Exynos 2400E for the Galaxy Z Flip FE. This adds more pressure on the foundry to deliver enough units of the same chip for two different devices. If they can't keep up with the demand, the only way to avoid delays or shortages is to shift the S25 FE to a different chipset, and the Dimensity 9400 would be the next in line. Interestingly, this backup option may not be such a bad thing for consumers. The MediaTek Dimensity 9400 is expected to offer better performance than the Exynos 2400E. So, while the chipset switch might sound like a compromise at first, it could actually result in a faster and more efficient device. But let's not jump to conclusions too quickly. For now, the Exynos 2400E still seems to be the leading candidate. Samsung has already tested it in the S24 FE, and it's reportedly getting ready to use it in the Z Flip FE as well. So unless there are serious issues with manufacturing yields, the Exynos 2400E might still power the S25 FE. This situation highlights how complicated things can get behind the scenes in smartphone development. It's not just about picking the best specs, it's about balancing performance, supply chain logistics, and production costs. And with Samsung juggling multiple FE devices at once, the pressure on its chipset division is higher than ever. What's worth keeping in mind is that Samsung appears to be making smart moves. Instead of gambling everything on one chip, it's preparing for all possibilities. Having the Dimensity 9400 ready as a backup is a proactive step that shows Samsung is thinking ahead. And for customers, this could turn out to be a win either way. Whether you get the tried and tested Exynos 2400E or the potentially faster Dimensity 9400, performance should be solid. As always, we'll have to wait for official confirmation from Samsung. Until then, the chipset for the Galaxy S25 FE remains one of the most talked about mysteries in the mobile world. Whether it ends up being powered by Samsung's own silicon or MediaTek's rising star, one thing is clear: the competition in the mid to high-end smartphone market is heating up. Stay tuned, because the next few months could bring more clarity, or even more surprises.